The one slash man. Lol, dude. Easy. Hey buddies, SomeNutzGuy here. Hope you're having an awesome day so far. Today we're going to be going through some of the best weapons in RLcraft. RLcraft adds a lot of different weapons, armors, enchants, and various other bits and pieces. Today we're just going to be looking at the various different types of weapons that have been added to the game. We're not going to be talking about the best enchants or how to make the absolute most godly legendary weapon in the game. We're going to be talking about some of the different basic weapon types and which one you might want to choose depending on the scenario or what stage of the game that you're at, etc. So there's a lot. There's quite a few new weapons, but most of them you can probably ignore. So, you know, we got all these different types of weapons here. And things like the bone hammer, the spear, the battle axe, they're all not that great. Nunchaku, I wish they were fantastic because I'd love to run around killing some zombies with some nunchucks, but unfortunately they're just not that good. There are 4 sort of bladed weapons that I would kind of use depending on the scenario or preference or whatever the case might be. There's one ranged weapon particularly I would go for as well. So, we have the Dragonbone Greatsword. Now I think this is a great mid-game sword because it is two-handed, so you can't use a shield. In early game, a shield is very good to use to protect you from the aimbot 2-shot skeleton archers. Aimbot 2-shot. And it also has reach and wide attack. The reach means that you can hit things from further away, and the wide attack is like a sweeping edge. So it hits a lot of enemies in front of you and it hits them from further away. This is great for mid-game dungeon clearing because in the hallways in the dungeons you'll have, you know, people pressing towards you and you can just clear them out with your reach and with your wide attack. It's very, very good. It's not going to give you the highest DPS. You know, once you've decked this out with enchantments and stuff, it's not the highest DPS on an individual target, but it can be one of the best weapons for dealing with mass targets. Now, the Saber and the Rapier are quite interchangeable, and they both have the damage absorption, which means that the weapon will absorb 25% of the damage that you take, and that will then reduce the durability. So you take 10 damage, 2.5 damage will go to the weapon as durability and save you from taking that damage, which is, again, really good early game, and they're both one-handed, so you can use a shield with them. The other part of it is that they have a chest damage bonus for the Saber and a unarmored damage bonus for the Rapier. It essentially means that they will do a bunch of extra damage as long as the opponent you're facing has no chest armor for the Saber, but it does plus 200% as long as they have no armor at all for the Rapier. A lot of your early game opponents will not have armor, so Rapier can be a really good early game weapon. And the Rapier is potentially, once it's, you know, fully enchanted and fully geared up, ready to go, is potentially the best weapon in the game. There's a number of enchantments that you can put on here to make it absolutely phenomenal. Now, if you guys would like to see a how to create the best sword in RLcraft video, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll happily put that video together for you guys. And I kind of have an idea as how it's going to go. And you can make something insane with this, seriously. So let me know if you guys want to see that. Now, the Halberd is an interesting one. It can be really nice to have. Again, more early game. It is two-handed, so you can't use a shield. It has long reach, but it just hits really hard with a 16.5 base attack damage for the Dragonbone variant, at least, which you probably won't have early game. It can dish out some strong single target damage from a good distance away. So the Halberd is a very good option as well. So between the melee weapons, these are the 4 that I really look at, and it depends on what stage of the game. You know, the Rapier and the Saber are great for early game because of the one-handed, so you can use the shield and the damage absorption, and also the damage bonus. Halberd is, you know, kind of just preference. I know a lot of people really like it, but I wouldn't end up using it sort of late game. The Greatsword was my preference for mid-game. The Greatsword was a weapon I probably used for the longest period of time. But the Rapier, I think, has potential to be the best weapon with the right enchantments. Again, if you want to see that video, let me know. In terms of ranged weapons, there's only one that I'd really pick up. It's the strengthened or the Longbow. You know, it can be a Dragonbone variant, it can be a different variant. You know, we're just looking at Dragonbone today. The reason I take the strengthened longbow, it has a further range, good damage, but it is slower. It takes longer to draw fully. Now that would be a negative, except for the fact that in RLcraft you can get so many enchantments and your skills, in terms of archery skills, to make it so you can draw the bow much faster. So even though it's the slowest variant of the weapon with the longest range, with the enchantments you can shoot this thing like a machine gun. It's absolutely insane. So I think that these are the best options. These are the ones that I stick to. I haven't really done a whole lot of testing with a lot of the other weapons because these ones are so good. But I've used most of the other weapons at least a little bit and found them to be sort of lacking in comparison to these 5 awesome weapons. Guys, that's it. Really quick, simple guide for you today. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Catch you in the next one. Take care.